Every 40 seconds a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's bowl season on ESPN Radio, including the college football playoff and national championship game.
The electricity, the atmosphere.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the Ohio State Buckeyes, the College Football Playoff National Championship, presented by AT&T. Coverage begins Monday, January 20th at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN.
It's the beauty of college football.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of iconic casinos, world-class shows, dining, and entertainment. Las Vegas. With flights starting as low as just $79, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Las Vegas. Book nonstop to Las Vegas now at flybreeze.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
I want to thank you. Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone. WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
It is a Friday here on The Drive, along with Wes Neighbors. My name is Steve Moulton. A good Friday evening to you. Walking you up to Havoc Hockey, Joe Hunk will have that play-by-play call for you. And hang on. How are you, Wes Neighbors?
I'm doing good.
Hang on, I'm getting back to it is amazing. I really try my best to plan in advance, but it is amazing how our theme song triggers people to text me. People I've been texting for days. And I am about to send this over to you, Brian Temple.
Don't they know what we do at this time? Don't you know who we are?
Also coming up this weekend, our coverage of the National Football League, as really this is the big boy weekend in the National Football League, as the National Football League has dwindled down to 4 games. It'll start tomorrow, and you can hear all 4 games right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, with the Texans at the Chiefs, followed by the Commanders at the Lions, Rams at the Eagles, and then we close things out Sunday night with the Ravens at the Bills. And at least the weather report there for the Western New York area calls for a high of 11, and I know it's supposed to get rather chilly down here as well, Wes, but at least playing conditions seemingly have this in bitterly cold conditions.
Well, it changes the game. There's no doubt about that. It's I've played in some cold weather, and everything from the snap to the throwing the ball, it just makes it more difficult.
Yeah, and it's a case where that Ravens-Bills game, Lamar Jackson, I wonder how the cold weather is going to affect him.
It affects everybody. So, I mean, if you're not going to be as fast, the ball, you got to really think about securing the ball, throwing the ball becomes more difficult because there's unless you let the air out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, funny you bring that up. Because do you know it's been tomorrow will mark 10 years since Deflategate. Deflategate happened 10 years ago.
And so to me, that's all on the rest. Yeah, that was all on the rest. They're supposed to test the balls. I mean, if they let a little air out,
that's what we were talking about 10 years ago.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah, that was a deal for a long, long time. The Indianapolis Colts, who got obliterated by the New England Patriots. But anyway, that is it's hard to believe that's been 10 years. Because at the time, I didn't think that conversation was ever going to stop.
Exactly. That's why I was laughing when I said it.
Yeah.
Bringing it back up.
Yeah, tomorrow is the exact date, the January 18th. But to help us break down a little NFL action right now, he is the Hall of Famer. He is the one and only Walter Jones, who's kind enough to join us here on a Friday. How you doing there, Big Walt?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
We're doing really, really well. And it's a big weekend in the National Football League. But how much of the NFL did you consume this year, Big Walt?
I consume a lot of it. I do a post game show in Seattle every year.
Right.
Right after the game every year. So I'm pretty intertwined with it, man. I came from it, so I still have to watch it just for barbershop talk. So I still try to watch it and see what's going on.
Well, we were curious about your offensive coordinator there in Seattle with Ryan Grubb. I know he has moved on, but that was a one-and-done experiment, at least in that regard.
Oh, yes. That's just part of coaching, man. I think, is, a young coach that's still trying to figure out his staff and what his staff does. So, that's part of it. Everybody comes and goes, and it's still a learning process and a growing process, too. Still trying, it's the same thing with the players. You're still trying to put your best people on the field, and the guys, the coaches, you want to get the best guys. So I know that, he's going to do that, and hopefully the next guy that come in is going to be a guy that's going to get us to the next level.
So what were y'all missing this year, Big Walt? What do you think was missing? Yeah, what was missing to the team?
I think what we got to do is focus on defense. I think this coach is a defensive-minded coach, so for all the fans, I think we just got to think about that's where he's going to go. I think offensively, I think we still, I think for us on offense, I think you got to get some bigger on the offensive line that where you can run the ball. But still, again, I like Geno. I like what Geno was able to do for her this year. So I wouldn't go off of Geno. I would use Geno if you're going to bring a guy in. But I still like the things that Geno was able to do this year for this team. And I think on defense, I think you continually keep building your defense. Get you a pure pass rusher that can pass rush with that crowd there in Seattle. So I think it's just, I think he's in the right direction. So, we was just a game off here, a game here, there, where we would have been in the playoffs. So, we just got to take care of those games at home. And I think if they do that, they'll be right where they need to be at next year.
You saw the Lions as well as the Bills, the Rams obviously twice. But what was the best team that the Seahawks played this year, in your opinion?
Oh, man, that's a tough one right there, man. Like you said, the Bills are the team that I think people have got coined to make it. I thought the Bills came in here and did what they had to do in Seattle. I would say the Rams are clicking at the right time. You kind of look at the way the season went for them, and, that game between me and them, us came down to almost the last game of the season. But, I don't go into all that, the wins and the amount of wins, the points. I don't get caught up in it. I just need to know we in or we out. And I think I like what the Rams are doing. Detroit, Detroit is on something right now where hopefully that they can win some before things start to, going sideways. So I like where they're at, and I think they're going to be tough. And you still got Kansas City sitting right there. Nobody's really talking about Kansas City, and they only lost 2 games, and ain't nobody talking about Kansas City. So, I think any of those teams can go on a run here in the next 2 weeks and represent the Super Bowl.
Well, it starts off with the Texans and Chiefs tomorrow, and we just saw that a few weeks ago. But it always is different in the playoffs. Tell me a little bit about your playoff experiences and how different was it from regular season to playoffs, Big Walt?
I think it's just the quickness of the game. This is it. You think about all the other sports. Now you got basketball where you got to play 7 games, or you got to win 4 games to win it all. Here in football, it's one and done. So for everybody, once you get to that point, you're only 7 teams in, and and if you lose, you're out. So I think everybody is quick to move, tight with everything they're doing, and it makes it tough, and everybody know what you want to do now. So it's all about who's going to outman who, and you kind of see that in the playoff. I always tell people all the time, a lot of people always ask me about what's the difference between offensive linemen now and back then. I said the thing is they're being a 2-point stand, but once you get to the playoffs, you're going to have to put your hands in the dirt and play football. So I think that's a total difference from the regular season. I think a lot of times once you get to them playoff games, it's all about who's not going to make the mistakes and who's going to make a play. And now you have to play football. It's not about trying to trick anybody. It's about man on man and who's going to beat who.
On that subject, how much do you trust Dan Campbell? Because we all remember what happened in San Francisco last year, but this team seems to be clicking on all cylinders. But has he evolved, do you think, or are we going to see the same type of riverboat gambling that we've seen out of Dan Campbell?
You know what, man? I think it's who he is, man. I think once you get with that kind of guy, I think that's who he is. I think it'll be different if he didn't do what he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, now we can keep hollering about he's gambling. No, this is what they do. So this is what they do. And I'm a big fan of that. Go for it on fourth down, because people don't expect you to go for it on fourth down. And I think he's not saying everybody else is going to do that. You know, everybody got their books and what they're going to look at and when you should do it, all this. And I feel like he's just gaining more confidence with players, and players will want to play for that. You know, you go out there. This is what got you here. I'm going to continue to keep doing that, you know. And it's all about being smart, when to do that. But I like the way that he instilled confidence in his guys and saying, hey, we're going for it. On fourth down, we're going for it. So, you know, I'd rather have go for it on fourth down than have that kickoff that we have now. I don't understand that. I'm trying my best to figure it out, but I like the way he plays the game and the way, you know, this game is all a gamble anyway. You know, I feel like if you throw it on first down, you can throw it on fourth down. So I look at it like, hey, that's the way the game should be played anyway.
Talking to Walter.
So does anybody pay attention during the kickoff anymore? I kind of turned my head.
I don't know, man. I was talking to someone else, and I was saying, like, what are they going to do for the Super Bowl? I said, that's just the iconic shot that everybody want to see. If you're watching it on TV, you want to see the flashes. I'm assuming you can still see the flashes, but now you're going to have to explain the lineup. Why are they lined up like that? Why is this that? So, but, you know, I get the safety reason. I was on kickoff return when I first started in the NFL, and I know how tough that can be when you got to run backwards, lock elbows, and then you got a 245-pound linebacker coming to you running a 4.7, and now you got to try to stop him. So I totally get that. You know, there's many times I used to be sitting there saying to myself, please, please have it, because I was starting too. So I was saying, let's have a TV timeout before, just to get the cobwebs out, because now you're thinking on some guy that's what he want to do. He
running back, go in the end zone, go in the end zone, go in the end zone. Touchback.
Exactly.
Is there any road team you like this weekend?
Any road team? I honestly, I like the Rams.
Okay.
I think they can literally go in there and cause an upset. It's going to be tough. The Rams, I like in Philly. I think they can go in Philly and cause some problems. You know, I think Stafford, the way he plays, you know, the way the Rams play is they keep the game close, and then he come and beat you there in the end there. So I like the Rams. I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams go into Philly and beat Philly.
Okay, so I got a question.
Yeah.
If the playoffs is 100%, everybody's going as hard as they can, which what it looks like. What's a regular season? What percent is a regular season game?
Repeat that again. Now, what'd you say?
Okay, so when you watch the playoffs, they just look like they're playing harder. You know, it just the better football for whatever reason. More on the line, you know, a lot of the guys, the older guys, really, to me, start playing really hard until the playoffs. Do you agree with that?
I think that's more just. I think it's more just veteran guys. I think it's all about guys figuring out how to play this game and when to go, when it's not. You know, and you see a lot of guys take rest, and so I understand that. You know, you get these veteran guys that you know what they can do once the playoffs start. And then now you see a different breed of player out there in the playoffs, because they understand it's one and done. Yeah, I got to give it to you one game and on to the next game. So I think that's what you see from a lot of veteran guys. And then you have to show those younger guys on, like, hey, this is the way we do it.
The latest lines has the Ravens a 1.5 favorite at Buffalo Sunday night. And what do you think of that first and foremost?
You know what? Only thing I can say is, you know, you better be ready for Derrick Henry, because you're going to get a lot of him. And you know how he plays when you get into these cold games. If that safety going to come down and make that tackle. So, you know, and you got Lamar, too, that's running around. But, you know, you can't take the credit from Buffalo and what Josh Allen can do and the way he can play the game. You know, he's kind of like, to me, he got that statuesque thing about him where he goes out here and play tough, and he's tall, big boy, that quarterback that everybody think that's the prototypical quarterback. But still, again, I can take my hat off to Baltimore, what they've been able to do this year, but that's going to be tough, you know. And this is what you play these games for. This is why you win during the regular season, to get these games at home. So you get these games at home. These are the games you're supposed to win, you know. And I tell people all the time, I said, when I first got in the league, we didn't play in playoff games. We didn't go to playoff games. And then once we started winning, and then now we started getting we got the number one seed, and realized, like, man, now you think about all those great teams that was playing great during the regular season that, okay, I ain't got to win, but 2 games to get to the Super Bowl. And I say to myself, I said, man, this is pretty easy. So I can get that where people get to in that, oh, my God, I love this, because you get 2 games at home and then you go to the Super Bowl. So for me personally, it's going to be tough to beat those guys, because these guys, everybody is knowing Baltimore and the Buffalo Bills are right there. They're right there, but, you got Patrick Mahomes sitting right there too. That you think about all the guys that played when Michael was playing. Where now they would have had a championship if Mike wasn't there. We might have had a championship if Tom Brady wasn't there. So now you got Mahomes now saying, "Hey, I would have won a championship, but I had to go through Mahomes." And I think that's what makes the game so much fun. That you got that one guy that's super elite, that's winning everything, and you're trying your best to knock that guy off.
So if Baltimore were to win this weekend, they would theoretically have to go through Kansas City just to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, this path is ridiculous for Baltimore.
And I think that's what they want. As players, that's what you want to go. You want to go through the best, and I think Kansas City is the team that everybody want to knock off. So I think if you get a chance to knock them off, you have to do it. And I think that's what happened this season. Teams was playing them tough, but those guys played. That's the heart of a champion. They find ways to win, and those games are going to definitely help them in the playoff, because everybody says, "Oh, they're not blowing anybody." I would take close games and finding ways to win in games, because then when you get into these tough games, you're not nervous that you're saying, "Hey, we can still win this game." So I think the Kansas City don't get caught up in they win about 1 or 2 points every game, because you understand what they have over there on offense.
Yeah, and they're trying to do something that's never been done. And that is a three-peat, where just goes to show how hard this has been for the 49ers back in the day. Heck, the Packers back in the day. Of how difficult a challenge this is. Is this the best team suited for a three-peat, or do you think someone else is going to hoist up that Lombardi?
Oh man, it's tough. I wouldn't put it past the Kansas City. They did everything they're supposed to do this year. They got that first round. They got the first round bye. They got the home field. They got to come through Kansas City to win. They win. They're in the Super Bowl, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. But like you say, you look, some teams looking like, hey, they are not winning convincingly. And I look at win as win. You win it 30-30. You win it by 1. You still win the game. So, but still, again, there are some guys out there. They are hunted. Trust me, they're hunted, but they're going to be a tough out. And I think the NFL want to see a three-peat. It's so many people you want to see win. So this is why we love the game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Josh win it. I want to see Lamar win it. I want to see honestly, I want to see Detroit win it, because they have never won it. And it's time for other teams to start winning these stuff. So I would be happy with any of those teams winning it all. But I'm looking for. I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams was there. I'll tell you that. That's my sleeper there. I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams were there in the Super Bowl.
We are all getting ready for Monday night in the national championship game on the college football world. What have you thought of the newly expanded college football playoff there, Big Walt?
I think it's great. I think now you're getting a chance to see other teams. A lot of times people try to knock those little small teams out, but I think it's cool. If you make a run, you make a run. I think you're getting 2 teams. I think it's awesome that there's no SEC teams in there. Now you're seeing other teams. Ohio State is a team that's always been around, but still, again, I like the 2 teams that are there. I like what Notre Dame is doing too. So, I think it shows that, hey, guys, look at this. If you do everything you're supposed to do, you can be in this game too. So I feel like this is going to just open it up for so many guys. And I think it's not even about the playoff. I think a lot of that compares to what the NIL have done for a lot of guys, the portal have done for a lot of guys. Now, those top teams are not sitting there with 4 and 5-star guys now, because those guys want to play right now. So now you're like, hey, I can go over here to Indiana and ball out and still get a chance to win the championship. And I think that's what you want it anyway. You want teams that, you get so used to the same teams every year. And now you're seeing other teams that are in other places that's getting the opportunity. You're getting a chance to see them. So for me personally, I love the 12 team, because you're going to have that one Cinderella team that you want to see and see can they finish it.
And Coach Kalen DeBoer came from your neck of the woods up there in the upper Northwest and came on down here to Alabama. What kind of reception did that overall get there in the Seattle area when DeBoer left for Alabama?
I think a lot of people understood what was going on. That's like, that's one of those jobs. So it's like one of those. It's like that Dallas Cowboys job. That's one of those top-notch jobs. If you can get your name on something like that, I think, everybody understands that when you have a great season, people come after you. So, and that's just what happened. Honestly, there wasn't no back. I think people understand that, and that's a job that you can't turn down or you can't listen to.
Well, on the subject of the Cowboys, do you think that Coach Prime talk is real? Are we going to see Dion and Jerry once again reunited?
You know what? I tell you this, man. If anybody can handle Jerry, it's Deion Sanders. So that's the only thing I can say. But I don't know. I think the thing about that, I think a lot of people don't understand that the only quarterback that Deion have ever coached is his son. So now this is going to be new for a lot of them. So if Deion's going to follow his son or what, so it's going to be a true test to see what these two do after the fact. Where now every year he's been a coach, his son has been his quarterback. So let's see how this go, even if he takes the Dallas job. But like I say, I wouldn't leave Colorado unless it was the Dallas Cowboys job. I wouldn't leave it for no other team. That's the only team I will leave Colorado for, because I think what he's doing in Colorado is pretty amazing.
It really is. Hey, he took over a 1-win team, and they were a game away from the Big 12 title game this year. Yeah. It's pretty remarkable. It really is.
And I think that's going to be the question with Deion, is just seeing what Deion going to be like without his son. His son's been by his side through when he was Little League, everything. So you got to think about that. So now let's see how, Deion is a playmaker, man. He understands the game and know how to put certain signals out there. So could this be a signal for him to get that money in Colorado? So you never know. So, but, Deion is Deion. Deion is prime time. So, if he's doing anything, any talking, he know what he's doing, and he know what he's trying to do and what he's trying to get. So all you got to do is try to sit back and watch and see what happens and see what's unfold.
Are we going to see Pete Carroll on the sidelines again at all? There's a lot of job openings.
I think he still want to play, man. I think it's all about can he adapt to the younger guys, and I think that's where everything is at right now. You got all these young coaches now, so that's the hard part now. You're looking at all these older coaches are leaving, and now you're bringing in these more younger guys that can relate to these younger players and understand how this works. So it's a matter of and I think he can do that. He came from USC. I thought when he first came to Seattle, he understood that and know how to motivate these guys. So it's a matter about can he motivate these young people, and I thought he did a great job in Seattle. So I think if he's put in the right situation, I think he can repeat what he did in Seattle.
Big Wall, I can't thank you enough. Are you heading here again for a Thanksgiving? I know it's quite a few. Now it'd be the planning stages, I would assume, but still planning on coming down here for a little turkey time?
I always come down there. I always be down there for Thanksgiving. Like I said, it's off season now, so I'm back and forth. So right now I'm down in Tallahassee right now. So
nice. Thinking
about, doing some stuff down here in Tallahassee. So, when the off season comes, I'll be all over the place, man. But definitely, I'll be back and forth in Huntsville.
Well, if we can help, give us a holler by all means.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Big
Thanks,
Wall.
And Happy New Year's, guys.
Likewise. That is the Hall of Famer and Walter Jones, kind enough to join us here right out of the gate to help preview a little bit of a big weekend in the National Football League. And like I mentioned right out of the gate, we will have all 4 games, beginning with the Texans and Chiefs, Commanders and Lions, Rams and Eagles. Big Walt really likes him some Rams out of his division out there in the West. And the Ravens and the Bills ought to be just a whole lot of fun to watch come Sunday night. So that is what is on deck for this weekend in the National Football League, and we'll see what moves forward for championship weekend next weekend. All right, let's go ahead and take our first time out. Phone lines open to you the rest of the way, walking you up to some Havoc hockey here tonight on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Did you know if you own or lease a particular brand competitor of our awesome Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport, you could be eligible for up to $2,000 in Conquest cash, and that's without trading it in. You could save even more if you do. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. This month we've got Conquest cash on Bronco, Bronco Sport, and F-150. All you have to do is show ownership of a particular competitor and it's yours. That's how much we believe in our Fords, and you will too. Now let's talk savings, big savings. Up to $12,000 off MSRP on our 2024 Expedition. Over 35 to choose from at Woody Anderson Ford. You can get up to $5,000 off MSRP on a 24 Escape too. Save $5,000 on Escape. And with the versatile 2024 Edge, you're looking at up to $9,000 off MSRP. Only at Woody Anderson Ford. From Conquest cash to thousands in total savings, January is a great month to add a Ford to your family. I'm Bobby White, and we hope to see you soon.
Our customers want best-in-class solutions. That's why we've recently added many new vendors like Zebra barcode printers. Our next level team has added premier automation solutions. We're not here to sell you just one product, and we love helping you find the right solution to your specific needs. That's what doing the right thing is all about, and that's why our customers have come back for over 50 years.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
It's time to get your family into boating. The Huntsville Boat Show is back January 16th through the 19th at BBC. Shop, compare, and save thousands on your family's dream boat. Hundreds of new boats to purchase on site. Shop pontoons, wake surf boats, fishing boats, and more. Visit HuntsvilleBoatShow.com.
Announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Bring it. I gave you one line last segment there with Big Walt, and that is the Ravens, a road favorite, a 1.5 road favorite in 3 different books. The rest of the lines look like this. The Chiefs, they are now an 8.5 point favorite. They opened up as a 7.5 point favorite over the Texans. The Lions are a 9.5 point favorite over the Washington football team, Redskins Commanders. The Eagles are a 6 to a 6.5 point favorite over the Rams. And as I've mentioned, the Ravens were initially a dog out of the gate by 1.5 points. Now they're favored by 1.5 points on the road in Western New York. So those are the latest lines there. I can also give you an update that both football teams, the Ohio State University as well as Notre Dame, have made their way to Atlanta, and that point spread is staying really steady at 8 as Ohio State remains an 8-point favorite. It opened up as a 9.5-point favorite for the Buckeyes, but they are an 8-point favorite. And that leads me into I don't know how much television you've been watching or listening to certain programs. Brian Kelly is just getting eviscerated. The football coaches met in Charlotte earlier this week, and Brian Kelly was asked whether or not he was who's he rooting for, and he said he was rooting for Notre Dame, and everybody is piling on Brian Kelly.
Because he's rooting for Notre Dame, that doesn't make any sense.
Well,
of course he's going to root for Notre Dame.
Yeah, he's got a lot invested there in that football program. But there was a comment that he made coming out of Notre Dame to LSU of more opportunities at winning a national championship.
But the rules have changed so much since then.
Yep.
I mean, Notre Dame has a lot of money. Wouldn't got him a quarterback, they wouldn't have been able to do all that.
How good of a coach is Brian Kelly?
I don't think he's a bad coach. He took Notre Dame to the national championship. They played they made the playoffs twice.
Would you take DeBoer over Brian Kelly?
Yes.
Would you take Hugh Freeze over Brian Kelly?
No. So Hugh Freeze has a lot of value. I think he's a good coach. I mean, but he hasn't done a good job at all with football.
No.
I mean, this year we'll see, right?
Yeah. All the eggs are in this basket after 6 and 7 and 5 and 7.
Yeah, I mean, but he seems to put two back-to-back recruiting classes. He's got a lot of good guys coming. I'm not sure he has the right quarterback, but time will tell on that.
And considering the environment as well that we are all in on the college athletics, I don't know if you saw this story yesterday, but it's something that, frankly, that we've been talking a good bit about, but it's starting to gain a little bit more notoriety. It came out from the U.S. Department of Education yesterday that the plans that many college athletic departments are making for how they're going to distribute the new direct payments to their athletes would violate Title IX law, according to the U.S. Department of Education yesterday.
I saw that, and that's a big wrench in the plans for sure. The way they're trying to do it, and I don't see how that could be. To be honest,
is this the domino where Congress is finally going to go? Okay, we need to do something. Is this?
Steve, if they haven't figured out already, they need to do something. I don't know when they ever will. I don't think this is the domino that's going to make a difference, but yeah, I mean, it's already untenable. There are no rules.
Yeah.
And in the end, I mean, I've talked to many coaches, and they're just they're like this is not going to work.
The NCAA and its power conferences have agreed to allow schools to share up to $20.5 million in direct payments to its athletes, name, image, and likeness. This is a ESPN.com story that I'm reading. Many schools from those power conferences have developed plans to distribute the majority of that money to athletes and sports that generate the most revenue: football, men's basketball.
Well, part of the lawsuit, they're going to have to give $11 million. So I don't know. And the Department of Education might not be around 6 months from now, Steve.
You think there is a lot there? I mean, there is a. Do you think there is going to be a lot changing up in D.C. this year?
Yeah.
Listen. I am not as tuned into the news side as you are. So
Well,
I realize
there's talk there will not be a Department of Education.
Wow.
And that doesn't bother me one bit.
The Title IX law is a federal law that prohibits sex-based discrimination in education programs. The law requires that schools provide opportunities to play a varsity sport. I mean, initially,
initially Title IX was an awesome thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there have been rulings that, in my opinion, do not make any sense. Like a walk-on in football counts as a scholarship for a woman. A lot of these things have been read by federal judges that shouldn't be federal judges. That's you see all these some of these rulings, then they get overruled. There's no question that Congress is going to have to be involved. We've been told by everybody in the know.
We've heard it from Coach
But I'm not worried about the Department of Education because I don't think there will be a Department of Education in 6 months.
So there is that when you say eliminate a department up in D.C., it sounds like cleaning house is going to be a big part of the first year for the second go-around of President Trump.
I mean, to me, it makes these vouchers are the thing to do. It gives everybody the same opportunity. So if you live in a economic, I'm going to say depressed, but a lower income economic area, and your kid is thriving in school, you ought to be able to sit in any school you want to. And these vouchers, I'm all for that. But we're getting into something totally different. But my thinking is there will not be a Department of Education. And it'll go back to the states. Because where the money comes from, that's where it should. I mean, the local. And I believe there will be some kind of federal voucher program where these kids that maybe are less developed places be able to go to any school they want to based on merit of how they do. And they ought to be. I mean, some of these schools, aren't up to stuff. Now, Huntsville, for the most part, I like they do a great job. So I tell everybody that that I talk to that said, "Hey, I'm thinking about moving because they come to Huntsville, greatest place in the world. They got great private schools, but hey, they got great public schools as well. So you can choose. You got a lot of choice."
On Wednesday, Drew and I kind of dove into just to make it more regional and more local. We dove into Grissom looking for a new head football coach and the avenue to make football better here in North Alabama. Drew immediately pivoted to money and generate just from not just on the high school level, but all the way down to Pee Wee, of just making this more streamlined and more family friendly. But it does start with financial support here in the Huntsville City area.
Yeah, I don't know about Pee Wee. I think they do a good job. And, I actually coached at Huntsville Middle for 3 years. And 3 of the funnest years I had in football was coaching those. And so you'd be surprised how many 90% of the coaches at that level are really good. High school goes up and down. I think more the assistant coaches, because you look at high schools every day, and you can't really be a volunteer coach. It takes that's where the I think the rub is getting those guys money, and then the head coach, all they're asked to do, it's hard to teach a class, and they have to do that in Huntsville. and other places they don't. So I don't. It's just a lot of the things have changed for the better the last 2 years. But there still could be some improvement. There's no question.
Coach Dutton, by the way, did land at Decatur Heritage, a private school, and from what I understand, he never fully moved into this area and was going back and forth from Lawrence County where he previously was. So he does move back closer to his home there at Decatur Heritage. But it is a case where many coaches are just trying to find the best place and the best fit, and they should. But I'm hoping we can see some better 7A football here in North Alabama moving forward. And
well, it hasn't been very consistent, no doubt.
No.
Well, the one thing to notice, too, is the private schools have done a very good job. But one of the things that we had a caller on talking about how high schools used to have their own football stadium.
Yep.
Well, our private schools are doing a really good job with that.
Yeah.
The one at Randolph is amazing.
Yeah.
And, you've been to Madison Academy and all these other stuff. It's proof that an investment like that will pay off way down the line with having a culture and an atmosphere there and to attract, we've got some really good coaches, and you're talking about Decatur Heritage.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good coaches that have gone the private route because they're able to coach the football they want to and have the
yeah, and they don't have to teach class. That's the big thing.
Well, in full disclosure, I went to a private school for high school, and my football coach also taught history and civics and economics, and I am still going on what Coach Patterson taught me, but it was very rare, even at that time in the early 1980s, to have a coach that would also teach a class. But now they're able to coach like coaches, and Steve and I were joking around yesterday, but talking about Hoover down in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And I always call it the University of Hoover because that's what it looks like. I mean, I have seen some colleges that would love a stadium like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the private schools have come a long way. I mean, when I was going to high school in Huntsville, Bob Jones was 1A. So, and then
Butler used to be the furthest west high school in this area.
Well, I mean, Bob Jones was always out there. It's just 1A.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was small, and then for a while it was the biggest school in the state. So things change.
Yep. And then James Clements, they went through a head coaching change as well, and it's a lot of programs going through that. Now Grissom looking for their next head football coach as we speak. So I just, since it was out there, so I did ask Drew in terms of financial gap-wise, how big is it from Birmingham to Huntsville? He called it the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, well,
do you think it's that
school
significant?
systems.
Do you think it's that significant?
Well, yeah, it's certain, not just Birmingham, though.
Yeah.
It's
Mobile.
certain places in Birmingham. No, that's not what I mean. It's from school system to school system.
Okay.
It's not like you can say everybody in Birmingham is great. It's not that way. The city of Birmingham, they don't have the same resources, obviously, as Hoover and Spain Park, those schools. But and you look at what's the big school just south of Hoover now that's doing so well?
Thompson.
Yeah, well, that's the only school in that area.
Yep.
So it makes it's easier to fund. You look at Huntsville City schools have 5 different schools.
Yeah.
And that's why the private schools with their money have different rules as far as makes it easy to build a program. I mean, what they've done at Randolph in a short period of time is really impressive.
Well, Madison Academy, Brian mentioned they had varsity sports for a long time, but invested more on the coaching side, and boys, it paid big dividends.
Right. Well, their basketball used to be the thing.
My question has always been, what do you do for those who are committed to getting up to the public school system? I mean, my daughter went to Grissom, and they made it a fantastic investment in the new Grissom High School.
Mm-hmm. And it's great.
Now, for us, we were glad to see the Performing Arts Center because we're theater kids. But there's great practice facilities out there now. But what do we do to get the city schools to compete? Now the city schools have to compete with what's going on with the private schools. And so I don't know what the magic key is for that.
I don't know either.
Well, the magic key is
I know
it's
it
free.
is. It's a lot of dead presidents on green rectangles. But I mean, I don't know where that source is. Do we go?
I would like to believe that, considering that we're the largest city in the state, that there is plenty of money here in the area. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I would not complain to have. Let's just pull something out of the air. Raytheon Field at Huntsville High School.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Let's be. Leave shame at the door, because we need an injection. If you're committed to public schools like I am, and like some people say they are, then okay, let's find a different way to eat the elephant. You can hear talk like this every single day on Talk Radio WZZN 97.7 HD2, where we cover the we cover the sports of it here, and the other politics, which is sports for ugly people. It's over on 97.7 HD2.
I would imagine Monday is going to be very heavy with inauguration day there on Monday. Here, it'll be more about the national championship game. So there you go, to Brian's point.
And let's not forget that it's a day of service for those as we honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that.
Find someone, and just even if it's just if you walk around a block and pick up trash, do something.
Yep. Well put. So we just got on that subject a couple of days ago, and I wanted to get your 2 cents on it, because it's going to take more than 2 cents moving forward to turn this around, because I've been here since 2000, and I keep waiting for that shoe to drop, and it's not happening, Wes.
You say that shoe. What shoe? Who are you talking about?
The turning point where a program turns around other programs of, we want that at our place, and it builds that momentum where programs get better, interest grows, financial support grows, everything around it gets better around it.
Because right now it kind of feels like I'll take my toys and leave. I mean, just to be blunt.
Well, if they do good, they're going to go to different markets where they get paid more. So, I mean, that's just, I don't think it's anything you can really do about that. As far as the support from the I guess you would say the large corporations in town, that I think there need to be a better job of somebody approaching.
Anyway, I know there was a couple of folks, quite a few, that generated some interest, more off the air than on the air, but we had a few folks call in as well on Wednesday at 256-576-4977. I was just really wanting to get your temperature on that as well, Wes. But it's because we see it in basketball, but I know basketball and football are two completely different animals in terms of.
I think we're paying a lot better than they were in Huntsville. It's just I don't think there's many players in Huntsville as there is some of these other schools.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of more things to do than just play football.
Yeah. But, I mean, to your point, I mean, I know I kind of blanketly said Birmingham, but I can think of multiple high schools, be it Parker or that area, of maybe not having the support that they need in that area. So
it goes up and down. It's like everything else. You get a good coach. And, the high school coaches, it's not like when they do good that there's athletic director is going to go and pay them more to stay there.
Yeah,
I mean that's not just because the athletic director usually is not always looking to move up too.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
It's very, very important.
Yes.
It is not a one-size-fits-all answer, or else.
No, it is not.
It'd be we'd be talking about how great football is up here. And I want to talk about how great football is up here, but we're just not there yet. And there's plenty of good football coaches up here in North Alabama. So it leads me to believe that if things are put in the right way,
well, it can be done. We played in the semifinals in a very close game. We lost. Connor and them, when he was at Huntsville, I was saying, it's times we're very competitive. Could it be better? I think 100%. I think what they've done with Milton Frank,
it's great.
Yeah, it's a lot better than it was, no doubt.
Yep.
And I don't mind sharing that. I think they do a good job of scheduling. But I do think I do agree with Brian. If everybody had their own stadium, I think it'd be even better. But that's a lot of money. And then, so I don't know.
And that's one thing too. I've been following some of the renovations too, like Goldsmith Shipment Field.
Yep.
It's been ripe for renovation, and they're getting to it. But it's not going to be. Our flag football team is going to lose their field at Goldsmith Ship. Yes, I speak for a living, and they're going to lose it because they're going to do a lot of parks and everything like that. Yeah. And I agree, we need to do something with that historic park, with that historic field.
It's great.
But because it just exudes character. But that's one less place that there was some hope that I have another football field to take the load off of Milton Frank and off of Joe Davis. But now there's going less.
We do need to take our final time out. I'm going to reel this back to Travis Kelce being asked about whether or not he should retire, at least according to his girlfriend. Yeah.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs.
I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Rain moves into the Tennessee Valley as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Temperatures only drop into the mid-40s. Rain is going to stick with us at least through the lunch hour on Saturday afternoon, but after that, it does look like the vast majority of us are going to be dry, though we maintain a mostly cloudy or an overcast sky through Saturday afternoon. Otherwise, temperatures actually climb into the mid-50s. We drop into the low 30s as we head into the overnight early Sunday morning. A mostly cloudy sky Sunday afternoon. Temperatures climb just into the mid-30s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Oh, yeah, it is a Friday.
There you go.
On The Drive, Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton here with you. If you missed our conversation we had with Jerry Glanville, that's coming up next hour. That's going to walk you up to some Huntsville Havoc hockey. It was good to hear from Coach. Coach was giving you a pretty good amount of grief. But when I told him you took the police car out for a spin, he was all about it. So, but he did call me afterwards, and we spent some time talking. And he is hopefully going to be on with us again next week to help preview the AFC and NFC championship weeks. And that leads into Travis Kelce. I don't know if you heard, but Travis Kelce is dating some singer out there. And Travis Kelce went on the Stephen A. Smith show and responded to a question about that girlfriend, asking whether or not he should retire.
Is Miss Swift, is she encouraging you to continue to play or to because it is a violent sport? And she don't want you hurt.
She's fully encouraging me to enjoy playing this game, and she loves coming to Arrowhead and coming to the games and cheering for me. So I got all the support in the world to keep chasing these dreams.
So there you go. Not trying to push him out of the National Football League. I mean, honestly, if we have Travis Kelce out of the
listen.
Yeah.
If she offers, she wants to marry him, then he doesn't have to sign a prenup. He has no business playing football.
A lot of truth in that.
There's 100% truth in that.
Yeah, a lot of truth in that. But
man, he needs to play as long as he can.
Especially with the quarterback he's got right there as well. And I was glad we got on Big Walt right out of the gate to help preview. But this is just looking from afar. We don't study as nearly as closely as Big Walt does. That was a lot of close games that Kansas City was involved in. But they found ways to win.
Last year, at the beginning of the year, they looked horrible. I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
This year, have you? But the memes. Have you ever seen the fake referee calls that they have on the internet?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome. You need to look up the Kansas City calls that they've got. There's got a guy that says, illegal scoring on Kansas City.
Like most SEC fans feel about Bama and vice versa.
Yes.
There you go. All right, that's going to wrap us up. Don't forget, Havoc Hockey comes up at 7. And if you missed it, Jerry Glanville on the other side. Enjoy that. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Did you know if you own or lease a particular brand competitor of our awesome Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport, you could be eligible for up to $2,000 in Conquest cash, and that's without trading it in. You could save even more if you do. Hey folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. This month,